Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over, starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one, self-love above anything else. A lot of peace and happiness.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to At the Root of It. My name is Shannon, and on tonight's show, this show is for the women, okay? This is for us, you guys. And the topic of the day is acting like a wife when you are only a girlfriend and the non-benefits of situationships. The reason why, and mind you, now I have meetings with my people who work with me, and my niece actually came up with this topic, and I truly, truly adored it because this is something that we really need to speak about, and that is not really spoken about often. So I wanted to get to the root of why there's so many situationships and not enough marriages. Okay, because marriage is beneficial. Marriage helps you to, hello, this is the one, this is Roger, this is the one who came up with the topic, this is my niece. And when she brought it up to me, I was like, wow, okay. I said, wow, that's a really good topic, because who really wants to talk about why they're not married, or why you're in a long relationship and you're doing all the things that a wife should do, but you're not married? And there are red flags that is going to be thrown on the play against us. And one of the main reasons for me to do it is because although I've been engaged numerous times, 4 to be exact, I never got married. And the reason why I never got married is because I did not want to make a mistake. When I get married, I want to be married for life. I don't want to have redos. I don't want to, Dion says she forgot the whistle because she said she was going to get me the whistle. We'll get it most definitely. But I just really, I had to be honest with myself, okay? Because, hola, mama. I had to be honest with myself because I'm not married, you know what I mean? So there must be something that I'm not doing or something that I am doing that is not helping me on the road to marriage, right? So I believe that there's a lot of people. Hey, Tifa, be safe driving. Thank you so much. She called me, she prayed with me. She's traveling and she's still my friend to the end, like for real. But I wanted to really talk about this because there's plenty of women. Hey, James, that's her husband. Hello. There are plenty of women who believe that if we show a man that we are wife material, that will make us their wife, or that will make them want to marry us. And that's not the case half the time. With a lot of research that I've done, I realized that, a man has to be tired of the single life. They have to be tired. And one of the things that I was saying to myself is that I was in a situationship for 7 years. And one of the major red flags that I truly ignored, I didn't miss it, I heard him loud and clear, was that he said that he did not want to get married, that he did not want to be in a full relationship. But he was fine with us just chilling and doing the things that we did in a relationship, in a situationship, without the title, without the obligation, without the responsibility of being in that relationship. And that's where the issue lies, okay? Because we settle. We settle because we think that we can change a man. And one of the things that we cannot do is change a man's mind. If their mind is made up, that is what their mind is saying, and that's it, and that's all. They really have to be ready to take on the responsibility of a woman, because we are, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and finds favor in God's sight, right? But the husband's job as a husband, the man's job as a husband is deeper. Now, if we go biblical, right? The Bible says that the husband is supposed to love their wife as Christ loved the church. That is a heavy, heavy weight. And James, since you're the male on here tonight, I want you to respond, please, in reference to the weight of it all, okay? Because that's a weight that a man has to be mentally and emotionally and spiritually ready for. Not everybody is those things, and that's why sometimes marriages doesn't work. But let me bring up, because I looked up the word situationship, okay? And when I saw what they said, and this is NBCnews.com, all right? Okay, so James says the word is mature. The man has to be, yes, emotionally mature. Just because we're a certain age does not mean that we're mature emotionally. We can be, I'm 44, but I just turned 1, okay? I just grew up last year. I just became an adult last year. And scientifically, it says that men are behind women. So if I just grew up last year, imagine what the man has to go through. You understand what I mean? So NBCnews.com says a situationship, less than a relationship, but more than a casual encounter or a booty call. A situationship refers to a romantic relationship that is and remains undefined. A situationship is that space between a committed relationship and something that is more than a friendship, okay? So we tend to allow things to be as they are because we're scared. We're scared of being alone. We think that we can change a man. We think that we can, the saying, the quickest way to a man's heart is through their stomach. So we think that if we cook them a good meal and show that we a clean woman, that will make them want to commit to us. But that's not all that it entails. Okay. Sometimes, like for me, I'm the first partaker of this word, and I always talk about things that affect me because, like I said last week, I can always go back to these videos and they assist me, just like I hope that they will assist you. And I know that one of the things for me is that I'm an over nurturer. Now, my daughter gave me that phrase, and I never knew what it was. I didn't even think about that word of being an over nurturer. Okay, so we'll nurture this man that has not said that they even want us to be their girl, let alone their wife. But that is what we should be striving for. And my best friend, she told me something, and I take that to heart now. And she dated, in this past tense, because now she's married. Okay, so she dated with a purpose. And one of the things that she did was she did not get with a guy who was not mentally ready. Now, in the beginning, he wasn't ready for a relationship, but she fought for her relationship. She knew that she loved him, but he loved her too. And just this August, they got married. Okay, so, but her main thing was that she wanted to date with purpose. Here she goes. And that's my best friend. All right, my sister best friend. and she dated with a purpose. And because she dated with a purpose, the outcome was what she wanted. And it was because she did not settle. And it was so funny. I would laugh at her all the time because he would say, "What you want for your birthday?" And she'd be like, "A ring." What you want for Christmas? A ring. Where you want to go? To the ring shop. Like, it was always coming out of her mouth. So there was nothing hidden. She did not hide the fact that she wanted to be a wife. Now, a lot of times what we do is we'll act like we don't want that, right? We'll act like everything is okay and that we're just we're okay with being a girlfriend or in the situationship with no definite role or ending of the relationship. We act like it's fine, and that is where the red flag is thrown. Okay, the red flag is thrown on a play because we are not truthful with our intentions and our expectations of what we desire and what we want. And it's because we want a man in our life so bad that we will accept anything and hope for change. How's that working out for you? Now, my situationship, Jesus, my situationship guy, and we're still friends and everything, but that is a phrase that I hated coming out of his mouth, because he would say stuff like, oh, you want the house and the picket fence? Well, go on out there, you'll be back. And then I will go back to him and he was like, how did that work out for you? So I'm saying, how did that work out for you? Is that working out? You're 10 years in. Did you get a ring? Or if you got a ring, why is it taking so long for you guys to set a date to get married? Because he really doesn't want to get married. And we have to see those signs, and we have to pay attention to those signs, and we have to accept those signs. So Roger says, cook, clean, give them what they desire. You think they would want to marry you. You think. But see, we're missing a main component in this thing, and it is listening to the words that comes out of these men's mouth. They never told you that they wanted a wife, did they? They never told you. And possibly you never discussed what they wanted in the future. A lot of times we just jump head first and not think about the bigger picture, what we're really striving for, okay? We are striving to be man and wife. We are striving to be in a covenant, okay? Now, we talked about covenant last week, right? And that covenant is a contract, right? An agreement on living our lives together, building together, and being partners, best friends, lovers, business partners, everything. But if we don't even crack the foundation from the beginning, because you don't want to seem pushy, you don't want to push them away, you don't want to scare them away. If this conversation scares people away, that is a red flag that he's not for you. Because evidently, he does not desire the things that you desire. And we have to accept it. We really have to accept it. And we don't want to, because number one, we might be, again, fearful of being alone, fearful of thinking that this is my guy. But what if God got something better for us? You know, what if God really has something better for us? And we're blocking the better, holding on to something that's never going to commit to us. That is a hard pill to swallow. But we really, really, really have to take all of these things into consideration. Also, the types of men that we are attracting. We're attracting these men because of who we are. Tifa said that last week or 2 weeks ago, all right? It's because of how we are that we are attracting the men that we attract, all right? And I always say we need to vibrate higher. And I don't know if people know what I mean, but I'll put it in layman's terms. And what we indeed, can you put it up, please? Can you put it up, please? Yesterday's prices is not today's prices, which means what I would do yesterday, I'm not doing today. I am raising my standards. And even if I have to be alone for a season, that doesn't mean forever. That just means for a season, so that we can get ourselves together, okay? Because I know me, I am, and my sister would be mad, but I am a newly business owner, okay? I'm trying to monetize my company, all right? So I'm not where I want to be, but I'm striving to get to where I need to be, okay? So I don't have all my ducks in a row. I don't. And I will never put on airs in front of anybody to say that I have all of my stuff together. These shows are beneficial to me as well as I hope is beneficial to you guys, okay? So I'm not sitting here telling you what I've done and it worked. I'm telling you about how I'm in the process along with y'all. I am in the race with y'all. So these topics is helping me identify the signs, knowing when to say when, knowing when to throw the flag on the play, and to know that I don't think that we are on the same mindset, because the Bible says, how can two walk together lest they agree? We are ready to just walk with people and not even know what they want. We got to stop doing that. We really have to stop doing that. Okay, so Dion says, I vow to no longer ignore the red flags. Me too, D. Me too. And the reason being is because the longer we ignore those red flags, we're gonna constantly be hurt, okay? And we can't always blame the men, because we ignored the signs. We ignored what they said because we think that we can change somebody. The only person that can change us is God, and he don't even force us to change. He said, with loving kindness has he drawn us, okay? Now, another thing is that, what's the saying? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Right? Why would they want to make that commitment when you're already cooking for them? You're already cleaning for them. You're already being everything to them that a wife should be. Why should they make it, why should they make that commitment when they're already getting it? What difference will it make? That's what they're going to say. Well, why should I do that when XYZ, when I'm already doing XYZ? Listen, we have to stop. Yes, Shamika, giving it too early, giving these men things that they're not, and now I really understand, I really understand why God kept sex for marriage. Because these soul ties, which was 2 weeks ago, right? These soul ties that we get ourselves involved in, and they don't even want the same things that we want. They don't have no goals or aspirations. They just okay with the status quo. And a lot of times it's because they think the grass is greener on the other side. So I looked up, there's 5 steps, okay? They were saying that there's 5 steps about how that stops a man from marrying, okay? So let me get to number 5. So number 5 is, he's already told you he doesn't want to marry you. You're just not listening. Now, mind you, this, I'm reading from Philadelphia Sun. It was written in February of 2012, okay, by Kiara Solomon. Now, this is from a woman, and she did a study of 100 men, and she asked some questions. So the number 5, she started from 5 and went to number 1. So he's already told you he doesn't want to marry you. You're not listening. So seriously, he's actually said to you he does not want to get married. His exact words were probably something like, marriage isn't for everyone, or my parents weren't married and look at me, or even no, I really don't want to marry you. But you are convinced you can change his mind. If he has said anything along those lines, he does not want to marry you. The possible reasons why he doesn't want to marry you are endless. And honestly, they don't even matter. Yes, it may be that he doesn't want to get married at all, but it's much more like he doesn't want to marry you. And you know what? That's a hard pill to swallow, because now you're sitting there like, well, what's the matter with me? There's nothing wrong with you, okay? There's a lot of emotionally immature men out there that's just not ready. There's a lot of men in their 40s and their 50s that's still acting 20. They still sowing their wild oats, not knowing that they're getting old and that blue pill may not work, you know. And I saw a meme where you better start dating women that know how to detect a stroke, okay? Because I'm getting older, and one of my friends, my situationship, he said, you know, you're getting older and your chances of marrying is getting slimmer and slimmer as the years go by. But I have a faith, and I believe in a God that regardless of anything, that I know that the right person at the right time, the right season, divine timing, everything is at play, right? And I believe that it won't miss me. It won't miss me, because he said he didn't want man to be alone. That's man and woman, because he made both of us in his image. He doesn't want us to be alone, right? But we have to stop casting our pearls to swine. Those are the undeserving people that doesn't even deserve our love. And we'll sit there and we'll be hoping and begging and pleading for these men to see us for who we are, for the good woman that we are. If they're not ready, they're not ready. So you have to start looking for people who are marriage-minded, okay? Marriage-minded. So Tifa says, as long as you continue to ignore the red flags, the longer you will remain in that cycle. And I truly, truly believe that. I believe that we are the only people that can stop that wheel from turning. We are the only people that can nip things in the bud, say this far, no further. I understand where I messed up, where I assumed, okay? And like I was in a relationship right earlier, like in during the summertime. I met somebody and we were getting to know each other, and I was telling him how I felt, and he told me that I expected too much. And I said, I expect for you to hug me or to even talk to me or to even pay attention to me, and that's expecting too much. He wasn't for me because he wasn't ready for me. For me. Now, he might get married next month. That's happened to me too, right? He might get married next month to a woman that didn't put as much expectations on him as I did, right? Am I wrong for expecting things? No, because you're supposed to put your request out there. You're supposed to make your request known, okay? But if you're making your request known to a man that is unwilling or unable or not ready, then we're wasting time, energy, and breath. For what? For what? And it's like I said, it's a very hard pill to swallow, because it's like, but I love he. Yeah, you may love him, but what's love got to do with it? When you've allowed him to use you in the capacity of a woman or of a wife without having to pay the cost as a husband. Now, I'm not knocking people. I mean, my beliefs are my beliefs. And I truly believe that marriage is like I said, it's a covenant. But it is something that is supposed to be held dear to you. But so many people get married and get divorced and get married and get divorced, and people see this in and out, in and out, in and out. But a lot of times people weren't ready to get married. Sometimes men get married because they feel pressured, right? but that don't mean that they're going to be a good husband because they wasn't ready mentally, right? And if you have the patience to go with it and to grow, you know, it can turn, it can change. I'm not saying that it can't, but you gotta pay attention to the red signs. If they're not trying to even now the situationships, if they're not even trying to put a label on you or a label on the relationship, I'm sorry, baby girl. And even men, some men are dating, waiting for this woman to want to marry them, and they don't want to get married because maybe they saw their parents married and they didn't like it because their father was controlling, and they don't want to be controlled because the independent woman. Now, I don't mind the independence of a woman, okay? I'm a woman. But I really believe that the independent woman actually kind of broke the mold in reference to how men view us. And I'm talking about Black women now, because Black women, it says that marriage, and I think I have the I believe that I have the statistics, all right? And there was something they said about that it has gone down. Marriage in African American households have gone down, right? And they've been going down since 1970, which we know why. We know why, because remember, after the Vietnam War, men were not allowed to be in the house because the women were on social service or government assistance, and they were making house calls. So they was coming to the house to check to make sure no man was in the house, which made it so that the man couldn't be in the house, like couldn't. All right, and we had to become that independent woman. But is it really beneficial? Because 9 times out of 10, people are alone now. I mean, you got everything but the man, right? So, and it's not a bad thing to want to have your own and to be your own boss, because I'm my own boss. You understand what I mean? And to be an independent woman as far as that, but we need to know how to compartmentalize and to put the head of a businesswoman down and to tap into our feminine nature. That was another thing that I wanted to mention, okay? Where a lot of women operate in masculine energy, right? So we be doing things that's so manly that a man be like, you don't need me. You just picked up that boulder. And we need to be like Penelope Pitstop. Help. I cannot screw in this light bulb. I remember my old pastor, she was a woman, Pastor Michelle. She used to say, oh, can you please help me? Oh, it's a spider. Can you kill it? Now me, I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill it. Pow. I got this. Men like to feel needed. Now, James, please tell me if I'm right. Okay, so let me go back up. So Shamika said, exactly, giving it too early. Dion says, the most powerful thing that happens is when you learn your worth. So when you learn your worth, okay, that's when yesterday's prices is no longer today's prices, because we have to stop the cycles. We cannot expect different without doing different, which means we have to shift our whole attitude, shift our own whole mindset to be who we need to be to attract the people that we want to attract, okay? But we really need to tap into our femininity. We're a lot of roughnecks out here, okay? And maybe I'm just talking to myself, but I'm not overly feminine, okay? And that could be my downfall. But I'm getting there. You see, I got makeup on, you know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm going to tap into that femininity, because a man wants a woman. He doesn't want a man. He doesn't want to feel like he has to compete, right? And a man wants to feel needed. Dion says the grass is just other grass that you have to tend to, right? But it's green because somebody was just watering it yesterday, right? And the somebody wasn't you. I'm talking to the men. right? And you go there and you get rid of the 80. This was on what? Why Did I Get Married? About the 80-20, or was that Act Like a Man, Think Like a Woman, or Think Like a Woman, Act Like a Man, whatever that movie is. But the 80-20, okay? So we may have the 80, right? But then the man goes out and he starts talking about the 20% that you're not providing. And then boom, a light bulb goes on with this chick or with these females. And they said, well, I'm going to show him the 20%. And the men lose out and realize that they left their good woman for a bimbo that's spiritually nasty, that put up a front. What movie was that? Did you see that movie called 27 Dresses? Let me know in the comments if anybody has ever seen that movie 27 Dresses. Because on 27 Dresses, right, this woman was in 27 weddings. She was always a bridesmaid, never a bride, right? So she was in love with her boss. Her sister comes, right? And her sister puts on all of this femininity. Oh, help. This woman even lied about being a vegetarian to be with her boss, right? Lied about it. Lied about everything. She faked the funk on everything, but got the ring, was about to get married, but old girl threw her under the bus when she put the projector on and showed the husband to be, that she indeed likes meat. Look, she went to the all-you-can-eat beef bistro, and they had her like eating this big old hamburger and all of this stuff. So he saw that she was faking the funk the whole time. We don't want to act, but we may need to take a page out of the book as far as femininity is concerned. So James says, being a wife is more than cooking and cleaning. And it is. It is. You have to be a helpmeet. You have to help propel your husband to be the greatest that they can be. Now with James and Latifah, I've been there, right? So, you know, you got to support your husband. You gotta be supportive. You can't throw in the towel when they're not necessarily at where you want them to be. And that's for men too. Because men, you see all of these women out here, right? And they may have everything, but their spirits are nasty. They're cantankerous, they're nasty, they're stuck up, and they're boastful, right? And they get the husband, they get the ring. So is that telling me that we have to be a little bit on the nasty side to get what we want? I don't think so. I just think that we need to just tap into our femininity and take pages out of the books of women who actually got married and who are still in a stable marriage. Dion says it may be toxic grass. Yeah, the grass may be green, but I remember I saw this thing in California because there was a drought out there, right? That a business was formed with painting the brown grass green because there was a drought. So there was no water to water. They could only water their grass at specific times. They could not all water their grass at sunset like normal and things of that nature because it was a drought. So a business was formed to paint the brown grass green. Ain't that toxic green, toxic grass, D? I think it is. Tiffany says, closed mouths don't get fed. It doesn't. So that's why we have to be mindful of what we say and how we say it. We need to be mindful that if we don't put out into the atmosphere and to these guys that we're dating, that this is our end goal, that this is what we desire. Because I know I'm not the only one that desires to be married. I know I'm not the only one. Because every woman, I believe, wants to feel safe and secure. Okay? I've been on my own, even though I've had relationships and things of that nature, but I've always had to make the decisions. Everything fell on me because men weren't men. You know what I mean? They had to grow too, but they weren't willing to grow in those areas. So I had to do it myself too. Even when I had a living boyfriend, I still did everything. I mean, he made sure I had all the toiletries and stuff, but he didn't pay no bills. He didn't do it. You know, so we got to be mindful. We can't accept things, and I'm learning this now. So I'm not saying that this is something that I've been doing. I'm trying to tell y'all something. No, that's not it. I'm saying that I'm learning by experience too, and we need to put our expectations out there. And when we put our expectations out there, you will find out quickly whether that man is for you or not. Okay? So Dion says it is actually quite insulting. And it is. And it is, because we know the caliber of women that we are, right? But we're not really looking at the caliber of men that we're looking at, because there's a lot of men that are men, they even got gray in their beard, and they're emotionally immature. You can tell. You can tell. You can tell because, you know, and then especially dealing with people my age, they're going through midlife crisis right now. So they're trying to get a young chick, because they're not accepting that they're getting old. All right? So they want the young chick to make them feel like they still got it, knowing that they popping this blue pill. You know what I mean? They don't really got it, but they want to feel like they got it because they losing it. They have to take the blue pill. And that's fine. I'm not knocking the blue pill because I'm 44. Menopause is right around the corner. I have perimenopause. I go through hot and cold flashes all the time. That's our midlife crisis. We all are going through something, but men, they're not trying to embrace they're not, I believe, this is just my belief. Now, I'm not a clinical doctor. I'm just talking about how I feel about the situation, my perspective, okay? So Roger says the convo for some is, how do you expect to get married if you don't act like a wife? Yeah, that's just a cop-out, because if they wanted to be a husband, they would say that they want to be a husband one day. They know if they want to get married, but and I really I just told my sister today, I was like, maybe we need to leave Florida, because, you know, the way Florida is with women and the way that they show their bodies, and it's temptation. And I'm not saying that it's not temptation anyplace else, but it's temptation everywhere. That even though you may be in a solid commitment, there's somebody that's walking past with booty shorts, and it's October 24th. Now, I'm from New York. Okay, I'm back. I did see, I saw that it was buffering. All right. So Tange says, I'm sneaking right quick. I love y'all. I'm at work. Oh, I love you. I know this is a Balmain show. Thank you, Tange. I love you, love you. And D says, that's why I dead those types of situationships. Anyone who wants you and doesn't want anyone to know must go. If you don't want no one to know that you're dealing with me, flag on the play. And it's okay. And it's okay. But now I'm not looking for somebody that just want to have a good time. Go have a good time by yourself. You don't need me. Go have a good time. Do you. But I will not be the good time anymore. You know what I mean? That's the raising of the standard. And my sister-in-law, she said, oh, I'm marrying Ronald, laugh out loud. And she is. She's marrying my brother. And I love it. And Dee says, yes, you are, because she is. She said, now Roger says, but even animals seek for a mate. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they seek, yes, they do. I was thinking about a penguin, right? They seek for that. All of them seek for. I even seen ducks, because ducks are so prevalent out here. Ducks. I see the men walking, and I see the women running away, but they find who they look for. Tam says, when you half man, half amazing. I don't know what that means. But when you half man, half amazing, I don't know. The thing you said, amen to Pope, but I don't know exactly what he was saying to that. And the Proverbs 31 woman was a business owner. She knew how to play her role in the marketplace and realized she had a different role at home. That's good, T. That's really, really good. We need to know how to take off our hats. We really need to know that we can't be all business and not bring that femininity. We have to. That is what they are attracted to. They're attracted to femininity. Okay? Now, not saying that the cooking and the cleaning does not matter, because no man wants a dirty woman. Point blank in the story. No man wants a lazy woman. Point blank in the story. They don't. If they have to come home and clean, what they need you for? Right? If they have to come home and cook, what they need you for. But I believe that it is equal give and take. I don't believe that you should do all the cooking and all the cleaning. I mean, and this is married, but I'm not married, so I can't really talk on it. I'm not going to talk on it. I'm going to talk on it when I actually get married. And the married people can actually tell me if I'm right or am I wrong. Okay? But let me go back to my point, because I want to get back to the five signs, okay? Because we be missing the signs. We really do. So I was on 5, right? So we go on 4. Number 4 is you really wouldn't make a good wife. I just got choked up, because that, my dear, is a very hard pill to swallow. When you look at yourself, this makes you look at yourself. Are you really worthy? So I'm going to think about me, because I can only talk about me, right? And in the past, I don't believe that I was worthy to be a wife, because I didn't even know who I was as a person. I didn't even know what I wanted to be as a person. I was unwilling to do a lot of different things because of pride, ego, because of my past hurts. And I remember I told you guys that I spoke these things over myself at one point. I will never treat a man like this, So I automatically put myself in homegirl mode, okay? I've been in homegirl mode for 20 years, even though I received rings to get married. But I never went through with them. I never went through with them because either I thought that the other person wasn't ready, or that they was going to cheat because they're cheaters, or they weren't going to treat me right because they wasn't treating me right while we was a couple. So I didn't think that there was going to be a shift or a change. I didn't believe it. But that was me coming from a hurt place. Now that I'm healing, I'm healed in a lot of areas, but we still all have areas that we need to heal from. And, you know, no one's perfect. I'm far from perfect, but I'm striving. I'm striving to become a new person, a better person. All right. So number 4, you really wouldn't make a good wife. Think about it. Would you marry you? That's the question of the hour. Would you marry you? In my state of who I am today, I would marry me. I would, because I know that I'm a good woman, and I know that I can bring support, great ideas. Behind every man is a great woman. I'm very supportive. I'm loyal. I'm honest. I'm willing to grow. I know how to be a partner. I mean, all of these things I do. The only thing is that I'm building my company. You know, I'm building my company, so I don't have everything lined up there, but I will, because I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm going to continue doing the things that I need to do to build my legacy. And maybe I'll find someone that will say, hey, she's doing a great job. I wouldn't mind partnering up with her to say, how about we do it together? but not for no one to use me, but for someone to actually be a partner, a best friend. Because you can't find best friends. You can't find people who's going to be in your corner. You can't, that's going to honestly be in your corner, because people lie so much. And people lie without even opening their mouth. They may not even speak it. But, they're lying. So, you don't cook, you don't clean, and you love to spend money, his money. When and if a man begins to consider commitment, especially marriage, a responsible man will begin to examine his finances closely, because now he has to provide for two or more if you have kids, right? In fact, the number one reason that most of the men who took her survey, gave for not getting married is money. He does not want to go broke trying to keep you. And right now, well, he's going broke trying to keep you. So it's like, why? I don't want to add an extra bill. I don't want to have to worry about you. I don't want to have to. Is that so wrong? Half the time these men are struggling to take care of themselves, right? So, it says, if you really wanted to get married, you would do things like cook dinner instead of making reservations. Show him that you know how to save him and even make him money, and he may show you a ring. Act like you have some sense. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. I've never wanted to keep up with the Joneses. I don't even care what other people is doing. I want to do what is set for me. And I want the mate that is made for me. And so I'm going to continue, and I'm not going to give up on love. This is another thing. We've acted like wives to men that would never make us their wives, to the point where it starts to make us bitter. It starts to make us mad. But we can't be. We really have to self-check. We can't be mad. You want to know why? Because we accept it. Stop accepting it. Raise your standard. Be feminine. Be soft. Stop being so hard. Stop being cantankerous. Stop. I know I had to, because I was cantankerous. I was contentious. I was all of those C words. I was. But I don't want to be that anymore. So I'm going to tap in. You saw that shoulder? I'm going to learn how to be feminine, right? I'm going to learn. Number 3, you are already pretending to be his wife. So why are you going to give you a ring, right? I just said that. Well, you are. If you really want to be his wife, my only advice for you is to stop now. Even if it's only been a day, you have already been pretending too long. You live together, you have a joint bank account, maybe you have children, you share a car, you cook, clean, wash clothes. Sometimes people even assume that you're already married. In essence, you are already performing wifely duties. You have taken on the duties of his wife without even receiving the title or the benefits. If whoever's in a relationship, for people who's watching later on, if you're in a relationship, right, and you've been with your mate for 5-10 years, right? What if something happens and y'all are in a home, but you're not on the deed, right? But you help pay the bills, you help clean it, you help maintain it, but you're not on the deed. Your last name is not on the this. Your last name is not on the that. That 10 years is going to go right down the drain. Flag on the play. That's a waste of time. Because now, if something was to happen to your mate, you get nothing. Absolutely nothing. You walk away with nothing but 10 years worth of memories and nothing to show for it. Because you invested in somebody, you invested in a thing that wasn't invested in you. Because if they wanted to invest in you, they would have a last will and testament naming you on some of these documents. But no, we want to bypass and not even get married. I want a ring on this finger. And I'm not going to stop. And I know that there's men that want to be married. So I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to look for a man that wants to be married. I'm not going to look for a man that just wants a sexual partner. I'm made up of more than that. But if you don't know your self-worth, you'll take that and pray to God that things will change. And God is saying, why don't you pray that you change? Why don't you pray that you change your expectations and your standards and stop expecting them to change for you? When we do better for ourselves, we attract better. And that's point blank. But we don't have to be nasty with it. And I even said, well, nasty women, and that's not the word that I chose to use, and that's the honest truth. I didn't say nasty. I said a female dog gets the ring. And the reason why is because they are commanding. They are demanding. They know what they want. They say what they want. They stand for what they want. And they don't budge. They don't budge. It's our soft hearts. Oh, well, I'm going to compromise myself to appease a man that told me in the beginning that he didn't want no relationship. He didn't want no marriage. He didn't want no commitment. He didn't want to pick up your baggage. He did not want to help you unpack your baggage. He didn't have the patience, the time, and the energy to deal with you on that level. And some of that is just selfishness. They're willing to let you help them, but they're not willing to help you. Flag on the play. We got to do it. We got to stop. Maylene says, come on now. Yes, yes. Hello, Maylene. But yes, we have to do better. We have to think better. We have to think more highly of ourselves, but we have to get rid of that masculine energy. And I tell you, and my ex is even on here, he would tell you when I was with him, I was like a straight dude. And he said that made him feel a type of way when I said that. But I was the Timbs and hoodie chick in New York. Hoodie and Timbs. That's it. And if I wore heels, the heel was this thick. Stiletto. What's a stiletto? My feet hurt. What? I can put on my socks. I slept in boxes and a t-shirt. Now, don't get me wrong. There's men that love that. There's men that loves that down-to-earth thing, that down-to-earth woman that is just cool and mellow and not so, what's the word I'm looking for? Extra. Some people like low maintenance women, right? My niece said, I will not wear stilettos. I will wear stilettos. See, that is something, that right there, right? So let me ask you a question, Ro. If the man that you're dealing with wants you to wear stilettos, would you? Or would you be like, no, I'm not wearing them because that's just not me? Would you wear them? Would you want to be pleasing to him? Or will you wear stilettos after you get the ring? What's the boundaries? What do you say? What do you say? That's the important thing. Okay, let me get to it. So you have taken on the duties of his wife without even receiving the title or the benefits. And he still tells people you're his girlfriend. After all of that, he's still not claiming you as far as, oh, this is my soon-to-be wife. I'm going to marry this girl. I'm a marry, If men ain't even looking at you like that, he's the wrong person. And we don't want to sever ties with people because we love. But come on, we got to love ourselves a little bit more to understand that we're blocking things. I follow this pastor on Facebook. Her name is Jamila Gooden, and she is the pastor of UCI in North Carolina, Unity Church, Charlotte. And she's also She does CCM, Car Chronicles Movement. She's on every morning at 7:30 a.m. And she just wrote a book, and I'm really gonna try to invest in that book. And it's called The Needle in a Haystack. And it's about relationships. And it's about how she found her husband. He was like a needle in a haystack because there was so many players and clowns out here that play on people's emotions. Because remember, we talk about people who gaslight you and manipulate you, and our narcissists so play on your sensitivity. But even when we see those signs, we still be like, oh, well, I'm just hoping. And I'm not, listen, believe me, I'm not knocking it because I've done it. And I still do it. That's why I wanted to do the show, because I want to stop. I want to stop. Me personally, I want to stop doing that. If he doesn't want you, if he doesn't want that commitment, if he doesn't want to honor you or even be comfortable with people knowing that you're together, then you have to gracefully bow out. And it's going to hurt. You're going to cry. It's going to hurt. And you're going to cry. But guess what? I would rather hurt now, cry now, than go 10 years down the line and nothing has changed. And it's the same talk, the same ideologies, the same in and out energy and in and out behavior of, I only want you when I want you. And after I'm finished with you, I'm going to discard you. We have to stop allowing men to discard us. Because every time we allow a man to do that, it breaks down your security. But see, the thing about me is that I refuse to be broken down. And have I been broken? Of course. But have I gotten up? Of course. Get up. Brush your shoulders off. As Jay-Z said, get that dirt off your shoulders. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, brush it off, cry it out, write it down, confess, declare and decree some things, sever the soul ties, separate from them, cut all communication, and heal. Now, one of the things is that healing is not an overnight process. Overnight process, healing is not. It's not. But you have to learn how to sympathize. You have to learn how to heal. And we think because we've learned to live with the pain, that our spirits are healed. And I was just talking to my sister about this too. But we think because we've learned to deal with the rejection or with the fact that we've been in a situationship and they don't value us as a person enough to give us their last name, that we'll just, I forgot what I was about to say because I just saw, so I said, Jay-Z, holla. A mess. See if I did it again, I'll be losing my train of thought. But anyway, I'm at the end of the show anyway. But let's just say this. Let's make a pact, guys and girls, okay? If you know what you want out of a relationship, right? And you know that at this time you're not receiving it, and you've talked, you've asked, you begged, you've cried, you written letters, you brought people in, all of these things, and nothing has changed. Sometimes it's just time to sever the ties. And although it may hurt us, I'd rather hurt now than be in a deep depression 5 years later with no change. Okay? We have to know who we are, raise our standards, because yesterday's prices is not today's prices. And with us saying that, right, that doesn't mean that we need to be nasty with it. It just means that we need to be secure with it. I'm going to say that again. Yesterday's prices is not today's prices. We don't have to be nasty with it. We just have to be secure in it. When we're secure and we know who we are, we attract who we are. Okay? So I will say that I'm going to see you guys next week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, At the Root of It. Please follow me on TikTok, where we do the attitude of gratitude for the day. Because God has led me to do that, because we need to be grateful for the small things. You know, we can be grateful for the house and grateful for the car and grateful for the job, grateful for our clothes and grateful for all of this stuff. But if we're not grateful for the little things, or even the things that we've experienced, how can we get more? You know, we need to check our heart space. And when we walk with the attitude of gratitude, it helps us to be a little bit more softer, a little bit more understanding, and a little bit more understanding to ourselves, okay? Because we don't get everything right. But the attitude of gratitude is on TikTok. It's called At the Root of It. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Share this with people. Maybe somebody that you know may need to hear this. I know I'm going to be sharing it, but share it. Let people know. And let me know in the comments if I didn't touch on things that maybe you wanted to say in this particular segment. But I know that we need to keep God first. If we've been dating without a purpose, we need to sit back, heal, and allow God to bring somebody that's for us. Now, I'm not saying that you don't put in action, because faith without works is dead, okay? But we need to be patient and wait for divine timing, because everything doesn't happen in our timing. Everything happens in God's timing. And some people just really need to heal. Again, the healing process is not a day. I've been healing from something for the past 3 months. And it was a rough road, because my feelings were hurt. My feelings. But I couldn't be mad, because that was one of the people that said, I don't want a commitment. You can't be mad when they tell you the truth. You can't. So I had to go lick my own wounds and dust myself off. And now I'm better. Am I fully healed? No, because, you know, I'm still working at it. I still have emotions. I still have feelings in that area. You know what I mean? But slowly but surely, as I said before, slow and easy wins the race. So tune in next week as we discuss another great topic. I believe that this was a great topic. I hope that someone got something out of this. And look, Tifa, my nose is stuffy, so it was a good one. But till we meet again, same bat station, same bat time. Please, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, At the Root of It. And till we meet again, you guys, I love y'all. Bye.
Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it. Ow.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one, self-love above anything else in life.